Hello, everybody, and welcome to League of Europe. Today we are doing Division 5 again with myself and Eva and Mike, and we're today around the new F1 track, Portugal. How are you, Mike?
Do you want to try and have another crack at my name?
E- Eva and Mike.
There you go.
Got there
uh,
eventually.
yeah, second time's a charm, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're here for one of the brand spanking new tracks on the F1 game, Portimao, Portugal Grand Prix for round number 10, and obviously I've missed the previous two races, and even though I've missed the previous two races, I still have the same issue trying to sign in. For some reason, it just doesn't work here. But yeah, looking forward to this one. New track, obviously, very challenging track, I will say as well, just from driving it earlier in Division 4.
Yeah, it's one where it's hard to master. I think I've struggled personally just learning the braking points and then actually had racing line back on today just because I couldn't. Like Imola, where it came out this week, I've been able to do fine. I just haven't been able to do it round here. So it will be a challenge, I think, for no assist drivers if they've continued to go no assist today. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the blind corners that do it around here
Yeah.
from personal experience because I remember trying to get the grips with this track when it first came out, and I can tell you a 118.1 is not the way. It really isn't.
Yeah, I think it's a very nice track to drive, I will admit. Once you get into the rhythm of it, it's just there's a few corners which are very scary. This section which I'm on board with Ryan Belcher at the minute as the main part.
Yeah, so obviously corners to keep an eye out on. From my personal experience, obviously the back end does like to step out a little bit on the exit of turn 4 as you go up the hill for that left hander just before the DRS straight down to the hairpin. Um,
Yeah,
Turn 8 as well is an absolute nightmare. You back end wants to step out every single time, and not gonna lie, even turn 1, if you just take it a little bit too much on the inside,
yeah.
you're gonna absolutely throw yourself into Narnia.
I'll say turn one as well with the invalidations as it's very strict there. Like you can't go a
Absolutely.
millimetre off, which I mean is what we want to see really, but people will complain either way. So
Yeah, you can't please everyone, but yeah, on a lap right now with Royal Council is the first driver to get us in the way with DRS wide open on the run down into turn 5 at the hairpin. Good overtaking opportunity into the hairpin. You can catch a lot of people napping, especially early on in the race. Little left hand kink of turn 6 and into turn 7. And honestly, the inside curve at turn 7 is also one that can catch you off if you try and take a little bit
yeah,
too much of it. You're going to absolutely send yourself off as come
hundred
now
percent. It's
into.
definitely a challenging track for a lot of drivers, including myself. So
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, the track, in my opinion, is a little bit slidey as well. It might just be setups,
yeah,
but it does feel like there's a lot of. It's like almost driving on a semi-wet track at times.
yeah, it does. Wet's even worse as well. I can say that safely from experience. As the 120 from Harry just behind Royal Council, so I think he may have been held up slightly by the looks of it. But
Yeah, Harry tried to give himself a bit of breathing room between him and Royal Council as Joseph there
it's a
said,
very nice spanker,
yeah, absolutely fantastic
obviously.
lap. I can say pole position in Division 4 was a 16.8, so he's not too far off.
I mean, I can't. I think ours was like a 120 something because of into conditions. So I don't. I can't. It can't really judge off D3, but I can safely say there's quite a few people around the 16s before the race. So I think if we do see a 16, it's going to be from. Is Lars here? I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lars
last
would be the one to do it, in my opinion.
yeah, absolutely. And Lars been on a good run of form as of late, and has helped him take the the championship lead, and I have the standings up. I don't know if you have them up, but
No, I
I
don't at the minute.
I have them up, and I can run through the order. So
That
Lars
would
currently
be
leading the way on
beneficial.
145 points, with Stephen Roebuck in second after that win in Hungary and the second place in Austria on 120. Then we got Fitnam Zaram, who is here tonight, currently seventh. He's on 104 points in third in the championship. Ryan Belshaw, it started so well for him, but he started to slip back now. He's on 98 points in fourth place, and then we got Leddy on 71 points in fifth. Swip in sixth on 55 points, and then we got Serial Killer in seventh on 49. 45 points for Harry F. Jav on 35 points. 27 points for Svenos Diaz, and that's rounding out the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. So, yeah, it's been a bit of
Yeah.
a pendulum swing, as I believe we just seen someone go off there. That might have been, yeah, that was Ryan actually, who lost it at the exit turn
No, I
maiden. We're
think
going
it's
to see
Harry.
that a few times.
I swear, I've been on board with Ryan. I don't think he's on a lap at the minute.
I think he's on a cooldown lap, but I think, just judging from where I was on board then with Lars, it looked like his back end had lost it.
Yeah, well, either way, they are P3 and 4 at the minute. After a Red Bull 1-2, obviously sporting that new special Honda. Is it a Honda livery? I think. I think it's a
I mean,
Honda livery. I don't know.
it's a very nice livery though.
Yeah, I think a better in game as well, I may say, than it was in real life.
Yeah, it's not as good as that. I don't know if you remember it from a few years back, that camo livery that they done, that
Oh, the
one-off
one they did in
special.
pre-season.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
camo livery, that
that was
was.
something else. I remember they always did it in pre-season and then changed it for the real thing, and everyone got really annoyed at them for it. Because
I mean,
we know
rightfully
they
so.
can make those liveries, and they just decided not to.
Yeah, interesting guys to keep an eye on right now. So we got Stephen Roebuck currently in eighth on a set of the mediums, doing an 18 flat.
That's a good lap on the mediums, especially compared to everyone else's times.
A very good lap on the mediums. ERS Major 3 tenths off that time, an 18.3 on the mediums, so a good lap from him as well. And so we haven't spoke about it, but this pit lane entrance in qualifying, I almost stacked it into the wall, forgetting where the pit lane entry was. But I mean, what's called it does sneak up on you, doesn't it? The pit lane entry.
I think, yeah, I think just because people just never used it before, have they? Obviously, like we've only ever seen it in real life, and everything looks easier in real life than it does when you actually do it. But yeah, in the rain and qualifying, I think I did almost win it as well. Well, I mean, I lost my front wing the first lap, so
Yeah,
yeah,
almost put it into the pit lane portal in the dry. Like I was
would have been
coming
a Mike
around the
moment.
final corner. It definitely would have been a Mike moment, to be honest. But you know, it's a new game, new Mike. Mike doesn't bin it in the wall anymore.
Yeah, get him new Mike. That's the gotta go for that D4 or D3 title next season. I say.
I may not be racing next season.
What?
I'm
Nah.
I want my Saturdays back to go out drinking again, but I'm not gonna lie.
Just do it after.
I
That's what I
mean,
do most weeks. Easily doable, in my opinion.
yeah, but you gotta remember, I live up in the valleys. If you want to go anywhere, like tight, it's gonna take me an hour to get there.
God, yeah, true.
Like we don't finish comms till like 9:30, and then I gotta
Yeah,
get ready.
yeah, and then club. Well, to be fair, I mainly go clubs, so they don't open till what 10:30, 11. So yeah, good point. Good point.
I mean, pre-drinks here start at like 12 in the morning. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's start the night before. I'll just miss prees and just end up going anyway.
No, you
It's
can't miss
cheap. It's a lot.
pre-drinks.
It's cheaper.
No, you can't miss pre-drinks. Just grab a crate. down your mates and smash them down you. Head
Well,
out, shot
when we
straight
did have
in.
that 2 hour Singapore race, I was definitely during the breaks using the time to have some prees.
As to the line
Licks,
comes,
yeah,
Licks puts it on provisional
17-4.
pole.
I was on board with him that lap. He did seem to have it very nicely hooked up.
Serial killer trying to make his way through a bit of traffic. Not ideal for him coming through turns 2 and 3. Having to overtake the Aston Martin. Now, if I believe that is Swip, or it might be Flip on his outlap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. I don't think he'll have the best performance from the car considering he's only on 20% ERS at the minute with still over a sector to go if he is going to continue with this lap. But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure ERS does run out, doesn't it, on qualifying?
Yes, it does. Oh, and he loses it by taking too much of the curve on the inside. And that's one of the things that we mentioned about earlier. Like just taking too much curve, very easy to lose it, and that's just proving our point right there.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the race as well when everyone seems to get slightly tired during, especially around like the end of the first stint, start of the second stint. I think I might we may see a few mistakes here and there creeping.
Serial
Oh,
killer stacked it into the pit
oh
lane
my,
entry.
he's done what Mike nearly did. Is that right, Mike? Or
No, that wasn't quite what I almost did. I almost stacked it into the actual wall, like
oh, the ball part?
connecting the pit
Oh,
lane to the
wow.
track. I think I missed it by about a foot.
Precise margins. That's,
As Harry F improves by a couple of attempts, gets him up there. Exact same time as Lynx, and Joseph the man on provisional pole now.
I can definitely see a 17-0 and maybe even a 16-9 happening. Looking at the times in a minute, especially with the likes of Stephen and Lars still down in P6 and P8 as well, and Ryan as well, obviously.
Yeah, and Lars popping up in the second with 17.3.
Yeah,
Now, I mean, interesting thing for this track. Obviously, we've never gone racing here in League of Europe or on the F1 games in general. Strategy around this track, very, very interesting because the game says you can't do a soft medium, but that is the ideal race strategy from like, what I know just by doing it earlier.
yeah. Top 10, especially in dry qualifying, which it is. Soft medium. This it seems to be a common thing on this game where the game doesn't let you actually know the strategy, which is easily possible. But I think tyre temps are the only real problem around here, more so than the tyre wear. I don't know if that's the same for you, or it might just be a problem that I have, but
I'll
I
be
think
completely honest. I never look at my tyre temps.
you just drive around anyway.
If I look at them, I start to fixate on them. If I fixate on them, I'm not concentrating.
Yeah, I mean, it weren't. It's not even that I noticed them. It's like I think it's the front left, and the turning just disappears after a few laps for me. If I, but medium soft felt a lot nicer for me. Obviously, I don't wear quali, so people like Jav who are currently P11, I think medium soft is definitely the way to go. From my opinion, as the softs were absolutely rapid at the end.
Yeah, I
And
did the flip strategy of going on the softs first to the mediums because I was convinced that there would be a safety car, but it didn't happen.
did it not?
Uh,
Yeah.
and that's the call you have to make if you're outside the top 10. Do you think it is going to be a safety car?
And when do you think the safety car is? Because the softs can still go quite a decent way into the race as well.
I mean, I took them 15 laps and they were on
Yeah.
50%. So, you can easily get another couple of laps out of them.
So you
I'm
could
not
easily
too
do half the
terrible
race
on
if you
tyres.
wanted to. It's just
Yeah,
the pace disappears as Joseph has left the session. Oh.
he set his 17.2, he's happy.
That's him done for the day.
Absolutely. put the benchmark down and he's like, yep, beat that in, lads. As Jav pops himself up into the top 10, he's now in P9.
That's a very good lap from Jav in the Alpine, obviously following from from what Fernando Alonso did in that Alpine. As long as he doesn't do what he did in Turkey and then crash into a Haas on lap 1, I think he'll be on for a good race. On for a good race.
Speaking of Turkey, why can't we have Turkey in the game?
I
We've
would love
missed it
Turkey
for
on
the
this
past
game.
2 years.
We got Imola, we got Portimao. We should have Turkey.
We should have Turkey.
If we're getting Jeddah, we should have Turkey, in my opinion. But
Yeah, and if we have to have Russia every single game, then we deserve Turkey.
to be fair, there's a valid point why China's in the game.
I mean, we
To
know
be
why
fair,
it's there.
because pad users like me were too scared to get rid of it.
No, it's not for you pad users. It's literally for the breaking point storyline. That's it.
Yeah, true. I highly doubt he'll be in the game next year now. Anyway.
Yeah. Bring back Malaysia.
I never liked Malaysia on old F1 games. Real life, I loved it, but I don't
I'm
know.
so tempted to leave this commentary and quit now.
I've got,
On board with Flip now as he comes through the final corner. I think he may actually just pull into the pits. I see his fuel light flashing, but yeah, still going for it. No, he is going to complete the lap and 17.8.
and it's a good 3/10 improvement as well. It's just a bit spread out, more so near, but around P9 to P15 at the minute.
There seems to be a big drop off from Swip down to Bellin and below. Like personally, I want to
Yeah,
see Bellin, Ebo, Jess, Royal Council, and Emperor, who's still in the pits. He may have a collie ban. I'm not sure. I want to see these guys get into the 19s.
yeah. I think the likes of Belen and Ibo could definitely do it. Looking at their times, I don't know how much they could improve on, but Ibo has done that lap on 3 lap old softs, so he could have time in it.
I mean, he's still out in the free level, so it's not
As Swip
but yeah,
is
the softs don't weigh too much. Go on,
Swip
what you saying?
Swip made a mistake going into the start of sector 3. That's all. As Stevens retired.
Yep, he was parked up on the off track of in between turns 2 and 3 as Fendo and Jess just went through there.
Yeah, I think everyone's on track at the minute. I'm gonna have to find. So Joseph is on a lap. Lars on a lap. Who's where?
We got a Haas coming in the final sector now. That's going to be Emperor Rab. I'm not sure if he's called this right to actually make the line in time.
No,
Yes,
he's not gonna make it. Right, who's next across
next
the line?
one's
It's Jess next across the line. Right on board with her for the last sector. Obviously, letting the car flow through here. It's quite a simple sector now. It's just.
I saw nothing.
No, I didn't see anything either. Nothing happened. As across the line, and she didn't improve, I don't think. So next, Eledi.
Nah, he's backed out with. Next,
Frente.
Harry F.
Major did improve on his lap and did a 17.4. Harry F. He pits.
Joseph invalid.
Licks and Ben are the next two to cross the line, yeah.
We got next to the line, Ben Scott's actually invalid, so.
17.1, wow. Joseph's invalid as well. Lars, yeah. He's got pole with that. As everyone else is done.
And next coming in as a reserve tonight. to my knowledge. Didn't get anything in Austria. 4 points in Hungary. Gets pole position here tonight.
Yeah, he's certainly new on the scene. I don't like. Yeah, I remember he was there at Austria. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah,
I don't know.
but
I wasn't there for both those races, and
I,
I do
I've
apologise.
got
But the
very
beer,
short memory. Beer was more important, huh?
I mean, Peroni, Copperberg shots, like you can't go wrong.
Hashtag cancel Mike. If you see this, get that trending, in my opinion. But
How are you going to cancel me for enjoying alcohol?
because you missed LOE because of it.
Eh.
Quickly get a message, Gary. Hang on.
But if Gary DNFs tonight, he's going to blame you messaging him now. You know that.
Is he even racing tonight?
He should be.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, we're running through the whole real quick. We're going off topic quite a
Yeah.
bit here. So Lynx takes pole position with a 17.1, just half a tenth ahead of Joseph, who will be on the front row alongside Lars, a championship leader, in third with Harry F in fourth, VRS Major in fifth, Ben Scott in sixth, Serial Killer in seventh, Ryan Belshaw down in eighth, Jav in ninth, Flipnam Zaram rounding out the top 10, and outside the top 10 with free choice of tyre compound. We have Marcy, Stephen Roebuck, Aledi, Frento, Swip, Bellan, Sir Ibbo, Jess, Royal Council, and Emperor Rub.
Yeah, I think there's still quite a few people on this grid, like the likes of Frento and Stephen Roebuck's. That's a key highlight for me. That are in the wrong position almost. They shouldn't. The
I
pace they've
think
shown throughout this
Stephen,
season, they
I
shouldn't
think
be
Stephen
that.
was determined to get into the top 10 on mediums.
And he should have done. I think he should have done his lap later on then, as obviously he would have had the track improvements which would have come with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously
That's
now as the session timer begins
eventually.
to go down, we look forward to this race. 33 laps. Tyre temps, as you mentioned, are going to be an issue. I wouldn't know because I never look at them. Uh, the traction out of certain corners is definitely an issue.
Yeah.
Deciding when to pit as well to make your pit stop. Because I think the overcut actually works better than the undercut here.
Yeah, it's kind of almost an overlap of stops as well, because like you said, you can take stops around lap 15. I pit lap 20, 19 for my soft, medium to soft stints, so you don't even get that much of an undercut.
I mean, just to give you like an idea, obviously,
Oh,
hang on.
maybe
There's a
that
bit,
might be why Stephen wanted to go on the mediums.
yes. That might be the.
Do they know something we don't?
I mean, if they do and they didn't tell us, that's disgraceful.
Yeah,
Go from everyone in D5. You gotta tell us these things. But yeah, the overcut versus the undercut. I mean, to give you some context, I think I had a 3, maybe 4 second gap to Jordan, who pitted, I think, around about 5 laps before me, and he only gained in about 2 seconds.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, Robin White here was just in front of me before he and came out 2 seconds behind him. So yeah, it's not. It's a quite an interesting strategy. It's, either way, let's find out what everyone is on. So actually, there's Marcy and Stephen on the mediums, and Royal Council. That's it.
Yes, and see with Marcy and Stephen on those mediums in 11th and 12th, they're going to be looking to try and jump the likes of Jav and Flip as early as possible to try and get with these guys further up ahead. But these clouds that are out right now, they do look a little bit ominous to me.
Yeah, I am slightly worried that there is rain, and I think That's why the likes is. But then why would everyone go softs? I don't know. I'm in
I
a.
mean, you can take the soft tyres quite a long way. Oh, actually, it's raining already.
Oh,
It's raining in the formation lap.
so there is rain. I think we deserve an
Obviously,
apology from all the div. Have you seen where Emperor Rub is currently on track?
oh, he's not doing it again, is he?
I think he's made a mistake, to be honest, because he is actually going flat out to catch up. It shouldn't be too bad actually. You catch up quite.
Yeah, it's not Singapore last season,
It's not
thankfully.
fun for the likes of Licks and Joseph on the front row, in the rain on cold softs. Though.
Obviously,
Yeah.
what this means now, because the game, I think, reverts it back to like completely dry as soon as they start the race. That means at the end of the lap, it is going to start to rain. And see, how quickly does this track go from dry to wet? Like we have no idea. This is all new to every single one of us.
Yeah. The only thing I can base it off is how it dried quite slowly in my qualifying, but I don't know if that's a fair representation or not at all. Really, we really have no clue.
And
As
here we go. Get ready as Joseph's left the session again. Got heartbreak for the Red Bull, but we are underway. And it looks like a very good start there from Lars. Looks like he's going to get links into turn one. But they do have that ghost car there causing issues. And Lars on
as
the
it
inside.
seems to be quite clean so far. As there is a lot of ghosting. I don't know if it's desync or as Frento
Francois
is
is
round.
free. Oh, massive contact in the back there. Flip
Oh wow.
is around. And so's Jav.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw an Alpine round. I don't know what happened to be honest. We just saw it going onto the straight, and it's got. I think it's something to do with maybe to do with Stephen, as that's the only gap in the field at the minute where there could have been an incident, and that is where around Jav was as well. As Flip's already got the first penalty of the race. Right.
I mean, it is going to happen. You're going to pick
Oh,
up penalties here if you're not used to the circuit.
yeah.
Um, we got Ryan on the back of Killer trying to look for a better run, and looks like he's got a pretty decent one if he uses his ears. Tucks into the slipstream, he might be able to get the Red Bull now. Killer's going to move across slightly to try and cover him off, but it's going to be a drag race down into turn one.
He has the inside line, which is very important going into this corner, and he does get it done. Good move from the Williams driver. As I think that's Frento. Yeah, it's Frento round at the back, and it is raining now, like you said. So, how long does this track take to get wet?
That is the big question. Obviously, Ben Scott and Joseph lagging out the session. Both the AI cars are going to drop through the field. They're currently
Yeah,
in 9th and 10th, which is not what
doing
they
quite
want,
solid.
but
Quite solid doing P9 and P10 to be fair to the AI.
yeah, it's Emperor's off. Emperor's off in the back as well.
Has that caused some chaos back there as well? Not too sure.
As Harry F and Lynx are battling it out for second right now. As
Oh,
Jack
Lixus
almost
spun.
goes into the back.
Lixus spun.
Oh no.
Heartbreak for the Haas driver. Such a good qualifying from him, and he's wet conditions with the already limited traction.
Jav's trying to
I
cover
would
his way
pit,
through the field.
and Harry spun as well.
Yep, pit.
Yeah,
Box, box,
it's wet.
box.
And Serial Killers just managed to overtake Ryan in the pit lane. Did a Sebastian Vettel.
And Harry's around as well on the pit lane entry, so he couldn't get his car turned in.
Marcy's carried on, Swift's carried on, Bellon's carried on, Flip and Ibo both carried on.
Hopefully
That
everyone remembered to change their tyres as
Ryan hasn't.
oh no.
Oh, Ryan.
I mean, this this is not what you want to see because look at the track now. This has gotten extremely wet,
Didn't
extremely
didn't
quickly.
take long. That's what we've worked out. As Marcy's round. Yep. This is
DRS has been disabled.
yeah. So it was open for a sector. And now Lars has been.
He's doing the Tokyo drift into turn 8. But he gets the move done on Marcy, so fair play. Yeah, look at the time these guys are losing out the Lars in behind.
Yeah, it's the time is tumbling. Absolutely tumbling. As I gotta say, at the minute, it looks
Oh, it's
like
balance around.
Lars may be on for quite a comfortable win again.
Is that
As
Ryan around as well? Ryan's around.
that does not surprise me because really he is drifting this car through the track.
Jaff needs to be careful here because Ryan does have softs on. He goes up to the back.
Gets it done very
Yes.
nicely. Well done, Jav. He's made a quite a good comeback, Jav has. So he's got three or four more people to pit as well. He's back into the points after the start he did have, which so he's going along nicely, Jav, in the Alpine.
Yeah, it was obviously he wouldn't have been happy with the incident at the start, but turned out
Yeah,
okay for him in the
yeah. I was
end
going to say it
because
has kind
obviously
of helped him because he was allowed to pit.
yeah, the same for I was going to say the same for Flip as well, but Flip went that extra lap, and you can see the time he's lost Jav just by doing that.
Yeah, it's massive. As Ben Scott is also back in the race now on those intermediates, and he is P9. He's staying P20, but
And Ryan all the way down in P19.
heartbreak for the Williams drivers. As he did, you gotta change your tyres going into the pits. That's the moral of the story, really.
Yeah, there's not. He doesn't need to be disheartened about it. It does happen from time to time. You
Yeah,
just forget to do it.
everyone does it, and there's still for 29 laps left, so anything can still happen here.
Yeah, exactly. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah,
That's Harry F gets through on Ibo, and up into 11th place goes Harry F. And Ibo, he's already in the points. Like, I mean, the
Iber
man
was
is
one of
on
the
fire.
drive. I was going to say Iber was one of the drivers who pit a lap later as well. So he is
Still
doing
good.
very well indeed. As
He is
Joseph is,
battling Jess. Oh, it's a brilliant racing side by side from them both. Ibo smart. He tucks in behind. He's going to use
yeah,
that
right thing to
slipstream.
do in these conditions. I will say that. Do not want to be going side by side through there in the wet. Now can Iber do anything down the main straight?
Oh, he's closing in. He's closing in. Jess has got no ERS left to really fight with Ibo. Oh, smart driving from Ibo.
Right, they both have 80% for me.
I saw. Yeah, no, never mind. I saw the red light flashing and immediately associated with the ERS instead of the ring.
As Royal Council is off in the background, that's not a place you want to be off, and it's very. As just look at the lead, Lars has. He is. As Serial Killer's binned it. Oh no. And it's allowed
Margaret.
Stephen to somehow get into pit. Has Stephen done an overtake on track yet? I'm not too sure.
Maybe. Serial Killer has managed to get himself going now. He's in 7th, but he's going to drop well down the order and he's going to be joining Ryan at the back, trying to carve his way through the field.
Yeah, this. As Ben Scott is also disconnected again. So for him and Joseph, they're going to be barely frustrated, that's for sure. As Serial Killer's into the pits as well.
Yeah, but his friend though picks up a 3-second time penalty and obviously, so oh my god, Lynx and Ember are getting very close to each other. The Haas is replicating what the Hasses usually do in real life. They get a little bit too close to comfort.
Frento also go for a look at it as well, so it's a bit as they are side by side. But we've seen how this ends in real life. Let's just say that. Blix gets the move done round the outside very nicely indeed.
But Emperor's got the win.
This is a lovely little battle we have here.
Oh, here goes Fento. Looking around the outside. And,
Oh,
oh, Emperor. Oh, there we go. That's exactly how that goes for the Hasses.
I saw that happening as soon as the breaking point was there. As it's such an inviting place to overtake as well, I think. You can just like, oh, if I'm just a little bit later on the brakes, I'll have him, and it unfortunately hasn't
But in
worked
these
for Emperor.
conditions,
Yeah,
you need to take care. You need to take caution, and obviously, if Lynx somehow has any side pod damage, because that definitely could have given him some, or floor damage, as he's
as
lost
he
it
spun.
again. That is 100% on the Emperor rub in my mind.
I'm not sure. If he has damage, yeah, it is Emperor's fault. I think he just spun though, to be honest. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I mean, like if he got damage from that.
Yeah. As one to watch at the minute is Jav. He is catching on Swip. He was last time I checked 1.6, now 1.4. Could he be on for a maybe P4 even here? Because Swip is also catching a lady in front of him in the Ferrari. So we could. I hopefully don't jinx this, but we could be on for a very nice battle.
Yeah,
As I probably have jinxed it, to be honest. But
I mean, we could be on for a nice battle as Ryan Belshaw is trying to make his way through. He's on the back of the Lynx now. But yeah, we definitely could be on for a nice battle. But it looks like Swip now slowly starting to pull away from Jav, and the gap stabilised again.
yeah, I think I think everyone's still trying to suss out these interconditions as well because the rain looks quite heavy. So I won't be shocked if we end up seeing the wet at some point, maybe today as well.
Oh, you think it's going to go full wet?
Looking at the rain at the minute, I think there's a good chance of it happening. Yeah.
Ah, that's a sunny day in Wales, but
Yeah, but this is Portugal. It's a bit different to Wales.
It's only wet tyres, and it's like this is shirts and sandals weather. This is.
I do know that. Yeah, I've experienced this weather myself in Wales. So there's Harry F on the back of Marcy as well, looking to make up for his spin earlier.
I've been on board with Harry. He definitely looks like the faster of the drivers right now, but in those key traction zones where he's hoping to get a good launch to really put Marcy under pressure, he's just having a small little bit of wheel spin, a small snap.
I think it's probably a lot harder to overtake as well without, because he looks to be all over him. There's just nowhere. There's no room to actually get the move done at the minute for him. But if he keeps patience, an opportunity will present itself as. Oh, I thought he was going through there. It's a risky one in these conditions.
He should.
He's got to have him, surely, yeah. As long as he doesn't.
Yeah, he's surely. Oh, he has to back out of it there. He must go straight into the back of Marcy, but he should have the straight line speed here, and yeah, he's drawn alongside.
I don't know.
Smart to back out, to be fair. He was getting squeezed as
Ben Scott's car just drifting in the background.
Yeah, Ben Scott was a ghost for me, but it looked like contact was made between him and Harry.
He might be desynced. That's
Yeah.
the only explanation for it, really.
And Swip now on the back of a Letty, so this battle now starting to pick up, and Jav only 1 second back as well.
So yeah, we're only on lap 9 of the race somehow. I don't know how that's possible. Seems like we've only done 2 or 3 laps, to be honest, in now. But What can Swip or Jav do? Because they both seem to have good pace compared to Lady at the minute. But as we've just seen with Harry, it's so difficult to find a move around here.
Yeah, but that's I think that's Marcy off in the back with
No, it's Royal Council on the wet tyres, so not ready for wets yet.
yeah, not quite. I wouldn't say we're too far off though if it keeps coming down like this.
No, there's definitely like a wet line almost appearing on the track now.
Yeah, as Swip is again properly held up now by a lady, and that's inviting Javin.
Jav plays his cards right. He could be easily on for a double move here.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like Harry
Oh,
has managed to get the move done on.
a Swip. Oh, and Swip and Lady have
Oh,
hit each other.
contact. Well, there's
That may
Jav's
be,
double move.
it may be the easiest double move of Jav's life, but that's hopefully for Swip's sake he does not have damage from that. I think Lady just lost it on traction there, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean it is one of the corners that we alluded to earlier, where your back end does want to snap out as you're going up it. It's going to be 10 times worse in the wet compared to the dry
Yeah.
end. We have Ibbo off as well, and they run into turn 1, and he's on the wet tyres, so not ready yet, as Flip picks up another 3-second time penalty.
I'm surprised there's still penalties coming through this much, to be honest, because in the wet especially, it's so much easier to keep the car, well, within the boundaries, because you don't want to be touching the curbs anyway.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, I think D5 has a majority of no assist drivers.
Oh, yeah. So,
I
no
think
assist
anyway.
Portugal in the wet would be terrifying.
Yeah, I think
To say
there
the
is
least.
more no assist runners in D5 than any other division.
Which is what you love to see, really, because no assists should be used by many drivers as it is.
It should be, but
it's the best way to go.
I mean, assist is just overpowered, like, you know.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that way. EA, if you're watching this, make no assists great again.
When was it ever great?
There's once a time, I'm sure.
Once upon a time.
Maybe F1 2006. There's probably actually something OP with that, to be fair.
As Lynx has lost it again.
I think he's just...
He
may have lost his head slightly. Yeah.
But it's not been a good race for him, has it?
It's been one of those races that you want to forget in quickly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Lars doing a fantastic job at the moment. He's kept it clean as well on the track limits. ERS Major and Stephen Roback also doing a very good job. Both of them as well. They do have a penalty to their name though.
Yeah, so if Jav can get the foot down, he could. If he can start catching them, he's got time to catch them. He only needs to get within 3 seconds as well as it stands currently.
I mean, the thing for Jav is, he's 9 seconds off the back of Steven Roback. He could, if the conditions are getting there and he can see it through his tyre temps and everything. I feel that if it's getting closer to wets, he does have that gap where Steven Roback may have passed the pit lane and he can pit for wets and close the gap that way.
He is gaining, if you look. He's gained 5 temps this lap. So I think he has the pace on him anyway, at the minute.
He is feeling himself right now with his Jav.
He's in the zone. He's got quite a nice gap around him as well. He's not really being challenged, which is perfect for when you have to catch people, really.
I mean, he does have a Flip slowly, I say slowly, very slowly gaining in on him. I noticed that gap come down by about 2, 3 times in the past, like 3 laps.
But however, Flip does have a penalty as well, so even if Flip can catch up to Jav, I don't think one he'd be able to make the move in these conditions if it's only that much he's gaining, and two, would it make much difference as well?
That is the question. Yeah, Jaff is flying now.
You're one of the quickest on track, I think. Him and Flip.
Let's see if he's closing in on Lars as well, actually.
Keep an eye on it.
He is.
It does seem to be. Especially in this middle sector.
Yeah, he's closing in. Jaff looks
On a
at the pace.
charge. He looks really suited to these wet conditions at the minute. He's just found the groove, I think that's right, yeah. Found the groove for the track. As I will say, ERS Major is catching Lars here as well.
You think Lars has gone into cruise mode now, knowing that he has a 4-second gap and
penalty gap as well. Yeah, he may be playing it very safe for the minute.
Oh, is that look it off again? Yes, it is.
A race to forget for these special livery Red Bull cars so far.
And the Hasses.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Ryan's making a decent comeback. He's back up in 10th.
Yeah. Both Williams are as well, because Harry spun early on as well. He's now caught up to the back of Valedi and Swip.
Yep, and Ryan's caught up to the back of Marcy, so we're going to have a couple of battles going on very shortly. Right, so Harry's looking like he's got some good pace here as well. If Harry can get past both Valedi and Swip, will he have the pace close up to Flip and Jav? That's going to be a key question, though.
Yeah. I can't. He's obviously stuck in a bit of traffic right now.
Flip is catching Jav.
Yeah, I think Jav's dropped off a bit the last few laps as well.
Doing rollbacks into the pits, and this could be telling. Is it another set of winters? Is it full wets?
As we're going to have to eventually get to the Alfa Romeo part that it's full wet. And a 5-second penalty as well with that. Now we have a real person to see what the pace is like.
Oh, we disrespected the bootlegger.
He's not in the position though to at the minute to show his play because his gaps are just too far wide, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but we got a lovely three-way scrap now. Lady, Swip, and Harry F. We'll keep an eye on that gap behind the Stephen, and I think Harry's going to be focused on that as well to see if the wets start to close in on him.
Because Harry could easily get an undercut here as well if he notices that gap.
Might be a little bit too soon from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of an early call. It's definitely not ready yet.
Yeah, but is that going to beat anyone in? And if so, they're going to remember to pick wets instead of winters.
The real question. It doesn't seem to have baited anyone so far.
Oh no, Stephen is struggling in that
Yeah.
final sector. Just going to bother him, he's saving an absolute rear end snap.
As Harry is side by side with Valedi, can he get the move done going into turn one? He thinks better of it again. And Eddie runs wide, and he takes it. Brilliant driving from the Williams driver. Oh. Not what you want to see, as there's also AlphaTauri just of Royal Council. Yeah, these wets are not. it's not ready for wet yet.
Absolutely not. The instant between Harry and a Letty. I don't mind a Letty trying to go for that because the space was opened up for him to try and go for it, but I
You
only
got
would have gone for that in the
yeah.
dries, not in the wet.
Yeah, wets, especially these wets at the minutes where it's like between wets and inters. Maybe not the best time to try the move, in my opinion.
Yep, as Flip is now right on the back of Jav.
He is indeed. Is
Jav's
Jav
peeling off
pulled?
into the pits. Jav, it's not ready. It's not
No,
ready yet,
Jav.
mate.
It's not. It's not
Is
time.
he going to big brain this? Is he listening to the stream and is going to
He's
put
going
a
for
set
new inters. I'm sure the inters would make it to the end. But no, he's gone for wet.
Oh no.
Jav.
Stephen.
As a lady's into the pits as well. As Stephen's back into the pits. Oh, Jav.
I don't think might have been a. I don't think it was a good call from Stephen to pit again.
Because it is still getting heavier. If my eyes aren't mistaking me.
Yeah, and he's pulling a set of inters again.
Were they really that bad? Surely not, right?
I mean, I think what Stephen's done, he's saw how much he's struggling, but those wets, they are going to become the better tyre the more it rings.
Yeah.
And
Just
Lars
when.
is in.
Will that trigger Major to pit as well? Major carries on. Does Flip
This
carry
could be
on?
big for Major.
Yeah, he could have a chance to win.
Because the wets are still the worst tyre. His inters could really...
Flip stays out. What does Swip do? Swip and Harry can surely see Jav's pace as well though, so they should stay out. In my
I
opinion.
think Harry would have noticed it anyway.
Yeah, Harry noticed it. Saying that, it's not that much difference now. He is still slightly slower, but not as much as he was, as Stephen was in comparison.
And, you know,
Let's
this
see
leader
Lars's
gap
pace.
between Lars
Yeah.
and Major. And it does look like this is the lap from the looks of it.
It's the puddles. It's when they start appearing on the racing line, I think. That's when you know.
I'll tell you what though, the one thing I absolutely hate when is when you do drive no assist is when it rains, because it always decides to put the raindrops right in your vision, right in the middle, so you can't see the racing.
Yeah, that is one of the worst things. It's only this game as well, I've noticed. I don't know why they've done it all of a sudden.
Fredo tries to lunge it back on the inside of a Letty, but Letty on those wets, surely gonna have the traction to get away with it, and he does.
Well done from LED back into P9.
Major stayed out. He hasn't pitted.
What about Flip? Stays out. But Flip can see the pace Lars is gaining on him. Jav's now gaining on, I think, on Ryan slightly.
Even Robart picks up a
Sweat
3 second
hits.
time penalty. What could have been for him if he stayed out on those wets?
Yeah, he was only a lap or two early. He could have just, I think, one more lap and he would have been fine.
And Swip is in, and we'll see how far back he comes out. Now he's going to be overtaken by a lady who's also on the wets. Going to be overtaken by Fento and
Right. Harry can see the pace of the two people around him. He should be able to make the decision for himself that the wets are ready.
By the way, Jav right now is looking at a podium. Just put it out there. Because
Yeah,
obviously when
he's too
Flip
far behind
pits,
Major. Major's pit.
I think
Major's
when
got six.
Harry and Flip pits, he'll have food.
I mean, Flip has 18 seconds worth of penalties at 21 now, so that was not a worry either way. Major has 6 seconds, so as Flip's got a 5 second speeding penalty as well. Oh no, he's going to be close to disqualification soon, I think.
I think if he picks up another 3 second time penalty, he's done.
Yeah. No, I think it's two more, I'd say.
A bit of lag on my end then with Jav and actually
I would. Uh,
Flip didn't lose out. Oh,
oh,
Flip's just gone absolutely. He's driven to Spain. That's what he's done there.
problem is it doesn't really make a difference, even if he had got ahead with the amount of penalties as, unfortunately for Flip. Because there's no way in 14 laps he gains 26 seconds on Jav unless there's a mistake involved.
I think it's more for the like for Jav getting ahead of Flip right there, crucial because obviously
Could be held
once
up by
Harry
him.
pits, Harry's going to be in clear.
Yeah. The amount of. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Every little helps with more drivers behind him.
I'll tell you what, the one thing I have noticed on this track is that there doesn't appear to be much spray coming off these cars, and usually the spray is blinding.
Yeah, it doesn't seem. Yeah, I'm on board with Aledi right now. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. I don't know if that's because Ryan's on Inters. That maybe. It may have coded it like that, but. Harry stays out again. Is he hoping it gets dry? Well,
Goes off.
drier
People for
again.
a safety car.
We don't,
Vento
I
was
don't.
doing donuts.
I don't think it makes a difference. If it gets safety off, and Jav and Flip are too close. As Flip now trying around the outside. You can't go around the outside there. As he's now got the outside line again for this corner, and Jav lets him through, which I think wise decision there. As Lars has absolutely walked away with this now at the minute.
Yes, that he has, and honestly, I kind of just want a safety car just to bunch everyone back up again.
Yeah, safety car is, especially with how spread out everything is. I mean, a safety car would be very nice indeed.
Honestly, we preferred if it came out just because someone spun, not because they DNF'd.
Yeah,
Let's put that there. We
obviously.
don't want anyone to crash out the race. If there was a safety car, we'd rather a spinner than a DNF.
Yeah, 100%.
Robots off again.
Lix is trying to get the safety car to happen, I think.
I mean, Lix is a lap down now. I think.
Yeah.
I
don't think he's got much hope. But as Lix picks up another pound, yeah, I think unfortunately for him, it may be over. As is Harry just trying to stay out the rest of the race on these inters? The rain's lightening up, I think. Go on, but if you go on board, it looks lighter than it was a few laps ago.
Just keep an eye on this gap between Harry and ERS and Major. The wets are still the better tyre, but
yeah,
he's going to try and extend it. Not sure how long he's going to be able to take these inters before they absolutely become.
I thought Jav spun then. It's the lag again. It's very scary, this lag.
Yeah, I jumped on Robin a few times and seen.
Leddy's still all over the back of Ryan. Ryan is holding his own against Leddy, which may be why Harry's staying out as well, because if they're in a party together, Harry then knows he can stick ahead of them on track. Possibly. As it would be an
I mean,
amazing
the thing
comeback
is,
for him.
if it does go back to Inders, then obviously Harry and Ryan, they're just going to pit for another set of Inders.
They don't have
If
to. I
that's
think they
what's
can
going to
make
happen,
it.
oh, as a ladies around,
It's definitely lighter rain. I'm sure of it.
I don't think they can make it. They're on
I think
19
they
lap
can.
old Inders right now, and they got another
Oh, I know it's the
10
whole race.
laps.
Yeah, it's the whole race, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this is about to be one of the most, as Ibo's exploring Portugal at the minute. He just did a Kimi Raikkonen there, and no one saw that. Never mind.
Yeah, it's definitely getting lighter because this rain now in the middle sector is almost non-existent.
Is it going back to?
And the gap's flying down. Flying down. Harry after, what's called ERS Major is coming down.
Is it? Yes, it is. I still think it's slightly wet tyre territory at the minute. Has Harry pulled off one of the maddest strategies we've seen in LOE?
Possibly. Let's see what it's like in the middle sector
If
because
he's
it's
got good,
hardly raining.
yeah, if he's got good tyre wear, his tyres will make. There is chances he can make the tyres go to the end. As he was one of the ones that appeared like the lap after as well, I think. I think for Lars, I don't think it makes much difference if it drives back up as he can afford to pit still.
Yeah.
Which is why he's number one in the power rankings at the minute as well. I think
I was very shocked to not see, for the first time in a very long time, to not see my name in the bottle list. But yeah, look at the gap. It is flying down now between Harry and Major in this middle sector.
yeah, my name wasn't on the penalty list either, which I can safely say I've never seen before. Right, Jav, if you're listening, pit. Flip, if you're listening, pit. You've got the gap to Ryan. Pit whilst you can. From your friendly friend Tinkan.
Are you telling Jeff to pit?
Yep. and he hasn't pit.
The RS Major there gets on the curb and loses a precious amount of time there.
The gap is really flying down now. It is. Lars, if you're listening, pit. If you're on wet tyres, please pit. Excel strategies.
Stephen Roebuck, as Swift is in the pits, he pitted for those Inders. He definitely called it wrong.
Has he stayed out? He has stayed out on them, hasn't he? Yeah.
He could be looking at the top 10 finish here.
Swip's pit. Yes, go on, Swip. Good move. I think he's too far back. Oh no. No.
Heartbreak.
Mike, have you got... Mike, are you able to invite him back? Oh no.
We get Jav back in your...
Major's in. Major's in. He's going to definitely come out behind Harry now. Yeah. That's a given. Where will he... Will he be behind... Behind Flip? Yes. Well, will he be behind Jav? Huh?
Then
You
Jav on his
sent it.
bike.
Well, it is back. Jav is back into P4.
He just needs to get back into his car now because he's going to lose out hand over fist here.
Yeah, it's 100% into his conditions. Lars needs to pit this lap.
Come on, Jav,
Yes.
rejoin the session.
Hopefully it's not a proper
Yes, he's
cutout.
back in.
He's back. Yes.
Jav is still on for a podium. It is going to be very close though. Obviously he's going to drop miles behind the RS Major, but him and Harry.
Yeah. Because Harry's tyres could still explode.
Absolutely.
Yes. Hang on. If it is raining more, would that mean less or more tyre wear? Right.
Well, these wets are going to overheat now.
Yeah, the wets will. Not sure about the. Has Lars stayed out again? Does he just think he's got that big enough of a gap anyway? He can stay out for the last 7 laps and not worry.
Maybe as
Flip stays out.
Jav's
Jav.
AI stays out.
Yeah. As the likes of Ryan, Jess and Harry may have pulled off, and Frento as well, masterclass in strategies here, and Emperor.
Is it enough laps? Obviously, Jav, he's still not in his car. And he needs to be to stay ahead of the RS Major. And
Major's got him.
Happened. Oh, he's left the session again.
Oh no. I don't think... I think that's it then for Jav.
I mean, we tried.
Yeah, heartbreak for Alpine. Harry's almost got that pit stop gap back open to flip as well, by the way.
It's only 11.4 seconds.
It was about 9 or 10 seconds last lap though.
Bellin's gone off. Digging in the sights here at Portugal. Lap 28 of 33, and Lars comfortably ahead right now. Harry question marks on if his tyres are going to pop.
Couldn't Major be on for the win here? That's if Harry's tyres pop and into the west become unusable. Major has a chance here in the McLaren.
I mean,
A very major chance.
He's 32 seconds off the back of Lars, and he has a penalty to his name.
He'll be close. As he's cruised up to the back of Flip. As Jav's back.
Jav's rejoined again. Please, Jav, take control of your car. He's going to drop now behind Ryan at this point.
Yeah. Especially with how slow these wets are looking compared to everything else. As Licks, yeah, it does eventually retire.
How have we not seen a safety car with all these spins and everyone going through the yellow flags? Not even like VSC.
I think it's just because it's quite a wide track. If you look, like, I don't think there's been much wing damage. That's the main thing.
Bellens on softs. Ivo's on hards.
What is happening? It's not drying up, surely.
Flips into the pits. Jav's AI continues on. And Flips retired.
What?
Just came into the pits and retired. Oh, he put on another set of wets.
Oh. I mean, he still would have come out
Still would have been in sixth.
I think Harry could win this.
Yeah, he's rapidly closing in that time now. And the thing is, if Lars has no choice now, he has to stay out, and he cannot keep that car going.
What is this? What is happening here? Is it going to be dry by the end? It is still right. Yeah, it's still raining. Very, very lightly, but it could be dry by the end of the race somehow.
And Lars he's had no choice. He had to pull the trigger. The gap was coming down way too quick, and now Harry will take the race lead.
So if Harry's tyres don't pop, Lars loses this race, I think. There's no question about it now.
Yeah, but it's actually going to be close to him and Major. As Major, is he going to jump in? Major does.
He will. What? It's the penalties though. The penalties are keeping Lars in P2 at the minute.
What is this race?
I'm bewildered to how fastly it's changed again. So we've gone from dry to wet to full wet to wet. Well done, Portugal. As Jav's AI on wet is somehow still P5.
I mean, the thing is that Jav's AI is not going to pit now. Like, surely not.
Yeah.
The AIs are probably just programmed to just stay out.
No, yeah, they are. I'm pretty sure they're just told to stay out whenever.
Ledi and Fento, the wets versus the Inders, and the Inders are going to come out on top. And Steven Roback, we questioned the strategy earlier.
It's ended up working for him.
Yeah, he's got himself back up into the 7th, although, to be fair,
he was P3.
Yeah, he definitely he kicked himself by making that pit stop from the wets back to the Inders.
Yeah. Has the always realised the hards are not worth it at this stage? That's good to know.
Hards are good.
As Jav's trying once again to get back into his car. I think his AI could keep P5 now anyway.
Yeah, his AI is definitely going to be able to keep a hold of P5, especially with the fact that Jav has no penalties. The issue is if his AI finishes the last 10 laps of this race,
does it count?
Can Jav really keep his position like that?
Yeah, does it? You could just give Jav himself half points and the rest full, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, if Jav can get back into his car,
I think it's fine. Yeah.
He needs to get back into his car.
I'm not sure on the rules about this, to be fair.
Harry is still going on almost 27 lap of Windows. How?
Masterclass.
On the penultimate lap now, and he's coming up to lap Emperor Rub, and Emperor Rub is in P11, so everyone outside the top 10 has been lapped.
We need a tyre wear graphic as commentators.
Yeah. Otherwise we have to pay for TAS.
Yeah, it's just not very fair on us. I don't know how we can get the AWS tyre graphic, but not an actual tyre wear graphic. Disappointed from EA.
I mean, I'm always disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. Every single game I'm disappointed.
Just got to that point.
2017, go did.
Yeah, I can agree with you that. I think that was my first season of league racing that season. That game.
Yeah, the same for me as well.
Quality game. There's nothing really happening, is there, now at the minute?
Nah, we're in a phase where everything is just so spread out. The only potential battle we got is this one between Fento and Jess for PE.
And even then, that's over a second in these conditions. It's going to take a mistake, I think, before any chance to arise.
Yeah, and Harry is now on the final lap. And an absolute masterclass strategy from Harry and Ryan, to be fair.
Yeah, both Williams have done an incredible job. One with their tyres, keeping them that well done, and two, bearing through the inters in those conditions. Which
Just after session, I think that's I think his place now is redundant.
yeah, as Harry will come through to take the win, bar any puncture in these last corners. Lars will get P2, which is still a good result for him. He extends his Champions
But
League
DRS
lead.
is enabled.
He was going to be
They're always
dry.
right to go on the drives.
It's going to be dry all along.
And
What
here
is
comes
this
Harry
race?
around the final corner. Well, it's been one of the strangest races here in Division 5 that we've seen in a very long time. Harry F comes through to take victory here in Portugal.
A brilliant drive. Faultless drive, really, apart from... After, was he had a mistake that early on that caught...
He had the spin in the early on.
Yeah, and apart from that, he's driven brilliantly. Major, well, brilliant drive from him and Pete to finish P2, P3 after penalties. Lars, I think he'll be annoyed with himself for not getting the win, but
I mean, he'll be happy with the Championship League being extended.
I think that's the main part. Ryan gets P4, so a good result for him after a couple of bad races in a row.
Yeah.
Jeff's AI will get P5.
Yes.
We'll find out later if this counts or not. I don't think so, unfortunately.
Yep. And we got Swit coming to the line in P6. Steven coming to the line in P7.
Jess PA, again, one of those drivers on the 29 lap old Inters.
Might jump up ahead of Steven.
It does.
She does.
P7.
And Marcy jumps up to 7th.
Oh.
So that's massive for the championship because obviously Flip not scoring any points. Stephen Roback down in 9th. Lars already had a 25 point lead over Stephen Roback. Massive gain for Lars here tonight.
Yeah, it's a big step.
The track is bone dry.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's one more. If we had a 35 lap race or a safety car, who knows what would have happened? We'd have the intermediates again.
Absolutely. This race has gone from dry to inders to full wet to inders and then to dry.
So D5 proven again once why it's the best division in LOE. You don't get this sort of weather in D1.
Or D2.
Or D3.
Or D4.
Yeah.
Or Endure. Or
yeah.
F2.
No, you do get in F2 quite a lot actually.
I don't know, I don't watch it.
Disappointing. Tin Can in F2. Different driver. Got one win already this season.
Here comes Ben Scott. His AI will cross the line.
And it carries on. Oh, game.
Well, Joseph's was AI for most of that as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Joseph was the entire race. So it was Ben Scott, I think. As it hopefully will end now in 3 seconds' time. Oh.
That was great.
We're stuck on 1 second. Well, we could invite the podium runners in and then just...
Yeah, that's right.
Unfortunately, have to miss out on the podium.
I'm invite him in 2 seconds. You're still in the lobby, and you.
Yeah, it's Harry, Lars, and Major, the three drivers. I've got the results as well.
Is there 3 R's in Harry's name?
Just the no 3 R's. 3 R's.
Not sure if this is the right one. There's a lot of Harrys with 3 R's and the F at the end of it, but we'll go with it. Lars. Who was the other one?
ERS Major.
Is it ERS major underscore?
ERS underscore Major underscore.
I'm not sure if that's Harry's, if that is actually Harry's game tag. So I'm tempted to not send that for 2 seconds. I'm gonna actually go through his profile in the game and do it, and make sure I get the right one. But there's 2 send, and he's left the session.
Oh no.
So we've been joined by ERS Major and Lars. Lads, do either one of you have Harry as a friend?
I don't have much.
There are about 10 people with the name Harry F spelled the exact same way. There's.
Can't you add to play together maybe?
I mean, none of them came up with mutual friends, so I didn't want to send one out to a random person called Harry F.
I invited him. Oh, cannot add him because of their settings.
Oh no.
Thing is, I do not have access to the D5 chat any longer, so. Maybe profile at a sec.
Jav is demanding to speak apparently.
Nope.
He'll take over Harry's spot, but that is not allowed. As you don't know, finish it. Uh-huh. Shall we continue on anyway? For now.
Yes, let's crack on. If Harry accepts our friend, then send him an invite. And he has, actually. So go on, Dinkan. I always take over the so I'm gonna let you do it this time.
Lars, obviously P2 today. It could have been so much more. About halfway through the race, after everything that happened during the rain. What was your thoughts on the race as a whole, really?
I'm still happy though because extended my lead on the championship, so that's always nice. Only when I went onto the hards, I was really tempting to stay out on the inters, but on the last second just said, okay, let's go in. And then of course, just when I came out of the pits, they said the rain is getting lighter, so that's always nice to hear. And then I just tried to stay out on the wets. I thought maybe Harry couldn't catch me, but my rears were overheating like crazy, so I couldn't stay out any longer. Just have to go, and Harry was catching me so fast. So the best I could do was getting a P2 today.
I was going to say, did you think maybe when you had the gap earlier on, you thought of risking the pits back to Inters, or was that never on your mind?
I just I didn't really know how long the pit lane took me, so I was kind of scared just to get stuck behind Harry or something. Just in my mind, it was like the only thing to do.
That's fair enough. And obviously, like you said, you extend your championship lead. You must be happy with that, especially with where you started when there's quite a lot of people, championship rivals around you as well.
Yeah, I'm certainly very happy for it. Exactly, this isn't my best track, so that's even better.
Yeah, that's good then. Mike, you got any questions?
Yeah, just the one. Obviously, throughout the majority of that race, you was pretty much on your own, just going for it. Like, were you surprised with how big all the gaps was going all the way through the field and how early it went like that?
Yeah, to be honest, I was very surprised. More like Licks was gone in 1 second. I didn't really know what happened. Probably spun out then, but it was like I try only stay major behind me for like between for 5 seconds between us. Just stay like that, and otherwise it was just kind of tough to do a full ring race, to be honest.
Fair enough, and of course next week, Belgium, a track pretty known for similar conditions to what we had here tonight. How are you feeling about going into Spa next week?
I don't really like Spa, to be honest. It's not a great track for me, and I will be on vacation the whole week, so I will go in without any practice. So that will be a tough one for me.
Okay,
I think we'll move on to our race winner then. Harry eventually joins the party. Yeah, we'll go to you after. Sorry, Madge, but race winner Harry. Congrats on the win today. Talk us through your strategy, as at time did look outrageous.
I spun pretty early on, entering the pits, and then just took the gamble. I thought I might as well just stay and see what happens, because I saw that it was going to be drying up towards the end of the race, so I just thought, like, if I can make it through the wet stage, I should be alright.
Yeah. What were your tyres like at the end? Were they bordering on the puncture? Were they?
No, they were actually alright, yeah, so I just thought it's fine, so I'll stay out. I was being told to pit like every lap for like 8 laps in a row, but I was like, yeah, I'll just stick out.
Yeah. So, like, that race was crazy as a whole. Did you think after you spun early on you had a chance? Yeah.
No, I thought that was going to be it again, to be honest, but then everyone started to pit and I didn't, so I just started jumping places, and then I just kept it up to the end.
Well done. And thoughts on Belgium?
Not the greatest, to be honest.
Seems to be everyone's answer.
Not really looking forward to it, but we'll see again. Hopefully it's another wet one like that.
Mike, you got any questions?
Yeah, obviously throughout this season you've had a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of races where you definitely had the pace for podiums and everything, but one mistake costing the lot. Obviously, how's it feel now to finally not only get that podium but get that win that you've been searching for throughout this entire season?
Yeah, it's great to finally get on there, because, like you said, I feel like I've had the pace quite a lot of races, but it's just 1 or 2 mistakes of either a spin or a collision with someone else have set me back. I feel like I'm qualifying alright as well, so I've just got to try and be more consistent in the race.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously with a win for you and obviously your teammate doing well, both of you going for that madness or a strategy of 30 laps from the end, crazy the pair of you. That's good points for you and the constructors. Are you keeping an eye on the constructors at the moment?
Yeah, that's the main one obviously I'm focusing on, but yeah, it seems to be going quite well for us, and I think after today it should put us up there again, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it might actually put you in the lead in the constructors. It's very close between you, Mercedes, and Aston, but yeah, definitely a close one. But massive congratulations on your win, mate.
Thank you.
So, ERS Major, congrats on the podium. We didn't see much of you on stream, I don't think. So was it as quite an entertaining race from your point of view, or was it just letting everyone else make their mistakes and capitalise on them? Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, Major, can you check your settings? I've just been told that they can't hear you on stream.
Oh no.
It's just put the share voice on the party chat, I think.
Can't remember exactly how to do
that. Yeah, go into party settings and your voice allowed to be shared. Right, so go into the party. Party settings. Allow your voice to be shared.
Allow. There we go. I think I've sorted it.
Okay. I do have a special question from Jab. It's just how did it feel stealing from a lifeless body in an AI car?
Yeah, I did feel bad. I just went straight through him. I didn't want to move offline, so I didn't want to go around. But yeah, I did feel bad for him. But I kept seeing his ghost point. I was just like, "You got to rejoin," but it just wouldn't allow him back in. So
yeah,
he would have been up there.
Yeah, quite important. But obviously, you capitalised on it once again. And yeah, did you think at one point we were going to get dry tyres before the end of the race, or?
Well, the worst part was I was going to do what Harry did and stay out. But then I saw a last bit and I thought, I'm pitting. I fully regret it, 'cause I could have won if I stayed out. But yeah, that's the one thing that I'm annoyed at. I could have won that if I stayed out, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
just
I think
be cautious.
Especially from our point of view, we was very confused to why Harry and them all stayed out as well. So, but yeah.
Yeah, well, on the weather thing before the race, it said it was going to be dry on the last patch. It was a dry sun. I was like, it would be dry,
no.
so I'll just stay out. But
yeah,
I think
a safety car something would have made it a lot more interesting at the end. But thoughts on Belgium for next week?
I'm not looking forward to that. No,
everyone doesn't like Belgium.
It's just such a long lap.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like 2 laps for quali, so that should be fun.
Mike,
yeah,
you got
Eau Rouge first lap will be fun, won't
it? Mike, any questions?
Yeah, the only question I had is obviously when you made that pit stop to go back onto the Indus after being on the wets, were you at all concerned of trying to get your way back up into the podium position, because you were in second before pitting by a sizable margin at that point?
Yeah, it was annoying because I kept on the final corner. On one of the laps, I nearly slid out and I lost like 2 seconds. I touched the gravel and I nearly went into the wall, because I was quite lucky to keep that. That's mainly why I pitted. But yeah, I just wanted to be on the right tyre at the time. Guaranteed podium that way. But yeah. It was frustrating.
And if it wasn't for the penalty, I mean, you did manage to get the undercut on Lars there, so that would have been a tasty battle if you both were clean on pens.
It's just that final corner. If only that was changed. But yeah, no worries. Got what I deserve for going wide.
Great stuff. Yeah, that's all my questions, Ben.
I think that is it for the stream today then. So I hope you all enjoyed watching. Obviously you can watch all 4 other divisions now on playback if you want to watch them, or if you want to just rewatch D5, which I highly suggest doing. There's F2 on Mondays, Division 1, and then nothing during the week, I don't think, actually, at the minute.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Enduro, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm thinking AOR and stuff. No, not AOR.
AOR?
Assetto Corsa. Anyways, yeah, so we'll be back here again next Saturday for 6:30 for Belgium for Division 1, 3 and 4, and for 2 and 5 back here at 10 past 8. So hopefully we see you all there, and see you all next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.